Hey guys, I'm so sorry for taking so long to get the review out for Secret Project number 4. I actually listened to the whole thing twice now, mostly driving to and from work. It's been about 2 days since the last time I listened to it, so my mind isn't fresh with all the details. So if I miss anything or you have anything you want to add in the comments below, please let me know, and I'll definitely give you a response on what I thought. As per usual, I'm going to break this up into a non-spoiler and a spoiler section. For the non-spoiler section, all I can say is, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this book. The worst part about this book is that we have to wait till October 2023 before we get to read any more of it. So here I am in my editing room, aka my living room, and I just realized that I did not reveal the title of the book in this video. I know, right? What kind of booktuber does that? Anywho, this book will be called The Sunlit Man. Now, Brandon Sanderson did say that this book is the most connected to the Cosmere so far. It actually follows the perspective of one of the characters that we know and love. That's as much information as I'm going to give in the non-spoiler section. All I can say is that I absolutely adored this book, or the 7 chapters that were released. The character that we're following is very different from the way we're used to seeing them in previous books, which I like. Sanderson has taken this character and put him in a new environment, and now we are going to learn what changed them and what made them the way that they are now. And you know what? I gotta say, this book got way more emotional than I thought it would. With some of the characters, we really get to peel back some of those layers and see how they think and how they view the world. This book feels oddly intimate. I would say Secret Project 3 felt pretty intimate as well, but this one feels like it just takes it a step higher. Maybe that's because it's a character that we already know, or maybe the story's just more intimate. Either way, when we got to the last chapter that Brandon Sanderson read, I could feel myself getting emotional and even tearing up a little bit. I actually think we've got a world that could rival Threnody as far as which planet I do not want to live on in the Cosmere. This place is tough. The people who live there have to be tough in order to survive, but it's dangerous in a whole different way that Threnody was not. However, I would probably say it's just as equally deadly. This book really has me excited for the character growth that we're going to see from our main character. I'm excited about some of the new characters that we were introduced to, especially one with a certain long, awkward name. I'm excited to learn about the new magic system that is tied to this world. I think this is going to be a great book, and I can't wait to read it. All right, so we're going to jump right into the spoilers. Guys, Sixel's back. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this book. Okay, so brief overview of what happened. Sixel crash lands on this planet. Turns out that the planet wants to kill you. The sun is going over the land, and it's burning everything in its path. If you don't get out of the way of the sun, you're gonna die. So this whole world is a bunch of people running around the side of the planet while the sun follows them and tries to kill them, and they're constantly going around, and the whole population constantly needs to try to survive by staying out of the sun's path.
And it's exhausting!
Sixel lands on the planet. We find out that he is a very different person. He's been skipping from planet to planet, trying to outrun the Night Brigade. I don't know who they are yet. If you know who they are, let me know in the comments. But they're essentially chasing him from planet to planet. Sixel is able to skip to the planets to try to outrun them. While he's there, he gathers enough investiture to skip to another planet. And it looks like this has been going on for years at least. Brandon Sanderson did say that this timeline is close to where Wax and Wayne is taking place.
The current Cosmere timeline as being where basically Stormlight is with maybe the Wax and Wayne books. Like, that's where we are in the real timeline of the Cosmere without the glimpses of the future that some of these books are providing.
I'm not an expert on the Cosmere timeline, so I don't know if that's years or decades ahead of Stormlight book 4 and 5. So Sixel latches onto some ships that are flying away from the sun. When they get far enough ahead, they peel off, and he is now captured. Some king with a weak ego tries to kill him. He puts Sixel in an arena to be killed. This woman comes at him, and Sixel barely survives. We find out that he's broken his oaths, and that his Shardblade is now dead. But his Shardblade is also speaking with him for some reason. I'm not sure how that works. If you know, let me know. Sixel isn't even able to use his Shardblade as a blade. He can use it as a hammer or a tool, but anything that might be considered violent, his body will seize up and he's not able to do it, and he can't summon his Shardblade in that form. So when Sixel is placed in this arena and this crazy woman is trying to kill him, he has to be very clever and tricky about how he gets out of that situation without actually being violent. And yet another thing I forgot to mention, Sixel is experiencing some kind of torment that we don't fully understand. One of the effects of this torment is that he can no longer do anything that would be considered violent. His spren can't take the form of a weapon, and anytime he tries to attack somebody, his body seizes up and stops working. Yeah, that pretty much sucks if you're on a planet full of people trying to kill you. At some point while he's interacting with these people, some rebels come by, bust the whole thing up, he escapes with them, and after he's escaped and started to bond a little bit with these people, his friend somehow is able to use the investiture that they have to communicate with Hoid. Now, this was the chapter where I just completely lost my mind. Right off the bat, you can immediately tell that there's some beef between these two. Sigil even alludes that it's Hoid's fault that he has to run from planet to planet to escape from the Night Brigade. We get some really tender moments from Hoid while he tries to apologize to Sigil for some of the things that he's done in their past. You can really tell that Hoid has regrets about how he handled it. The whole time, Sigil is certain that he's being manipulated by Hoid and doesn't want to trust anything that he says. This chapter gives us amazing insight into both of their psyches, and even though it was just a conversation, I was sitting at the edge of my seat listening to this. Eventually, the conversation ends, and that's where Brandon Sanderson decided to end the teaser reading. This was a strong book. If I'm being honest, maybe it's really strong because I'm a fan of the Cosmere. If you're going into this book and you know nothing about the Cosmere, I think you'll probably really enjoy it. But I definitely think that my personal enjoyment is going to be much higher because I've read the other books in the Cosmere. I'm definitely going to do a full review of the book in 2023, October. We'll see if I'm still doing YouTube by then. If I am, someone needs to dig up this video and send it to me so that I can remember how much I doubted myself. I really do enjoy sharing my thoughts. If there's anything Cosmere related you'd like to see me make a video on, please let me know. I do have some ideas planned, but of course, you guys are the audience, and I'm completely open to suggestions. Thank you to all those who have subscribed. We're at 35 subscribers at the time of me recording this, which is just insane to me that that many of you want to hear my awkward thoughts on these books. Hopefully I'll get better as we go along. Feel free to follow me on my Instagram page. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you again, and we'll talk to you next time.